This is the story of the Bailey family from New Brunswick. They have their hands full with 3 boys under the age of 3. Their firstborn is Beau. When he was born, there were some complications.
They found out he had a bacterial infection, and then they let us know that it was HIV. That's when his pediatrician from the emergency department referred him to immunology at the IWK. You can definitely tell a difference between the staff at the IWK and then just people who aren't super accustomed to working with families and parents and kids. So we were told that it was something very serious, but that since it's caught early, the antibiotics should do their job. He wasn't super sick. He was still running around and playing.
Beau had blood tests done at the IWK, but his body had no response to the HIV vaccine after 2 boosters.
So that's when they kind of realized oh, there's something going on here, because that's really abnormal. The immunologist decided that she would offer to do the weekly injections or monthly injections. We decided to go with the weekly ones, where we do them at home. The IWK set up the One Path program to come to our house. We had a nurse come in for 3 weeks. She did the injections at the start, and then by the 3rd time, she taught me how to do it.
Now, with the help of the injections, little Beau is doing much better, and his infections have reduced. Throughout all this, though, the Baileys learned they were expecting their 2nd child, Fred. After their 20-week ultrasound, Kayla's phone rang.
My family doctor called, and she gave us the diagnosis of cleft lip, possible cleft palate. Before we had the baby, we did meet with the surgeon at the IWK. The surgeon did a Zoom call with us and showed us how to use the bottles and showed us about the nasal elevator, which had to be used right after birth.
Fred was born with a cleft lip and palate, and that's when the Bailey family learned he'd need to have surgery at just 3 months old.
Fred's first surgery was the lip repair. We went up to the IWK the morning of, so the surgery went really well. We had to syringe feed him, so the nurses came in and they taught us how to do that. They had arm splints on him, and they prepared us that he wasn't allowed to touch his mouth at all.
Now, COVID restrictions at the time meant that only Kayla could be at the hospital with little Fred.
It was really hard. It was scary to be there by yourself. One of the nurses actually in particular was very caring towards me. If I needed any food, they were always there, and they were offering me water and snacks and stuff because they knew I didn't want to leave his side for a minute. They were very supportive, and it does seem like each unit is kind of like a family.
Then, when Fred was 15 months old, he had his 2nd surgery.
He did really well during the surgery. There was no breathing issues. He went to sleep well. Dr. Bazzuli's team came out and updated us every hour.
But there's more. About a month before that, Mom Kayla found out she was pregnant with their 3rd baby.
We were quite worried that there was going to be something to be diagnosed in the pregnancy. We just felt like we already have 2 kids that have immune deficiency and then cleft palate. What's next kind of thing.
What was next was not news they could have predicted. At their 20-week ultrasound this time, the Baileys were told their 3rd baby would also be born with a cleft lip, and there was a good chance this baby would also have a cleft palate.
When we got the diagnosis, it was heartbreaking. We knew what the child would have to go through. We knew how heartbreaking it is to watch your child be in pain and not be able to do anything. And I actually texted Dr. Bazzuli after our ultrasound saying, can you please take our referral? Dr. Bazzuli is a very outgoing person, and he's very smart. He's very confident. He's very proud of his work, which makes you feel more comfortable.
Baby George was born in August of that year with a cleft lip and palate. And despite the fact that George would now need specialized care at the hospital as well, the Baileys were comforted. They were confident, knowing they'd get the best treatment and care at the IWK.
They are all doing amazing right now. Everyone's happy and healthy. George is 4 weeks post-op from his lip repair. Beau hasn't gotten any sort of infections. at all since his injection started. Freddy's like a year post-op from his palate repair. He's doing amazing, like eating well. They're all like happy and healthy right now. We're definitely grateful for that.
The Bailey family now takes each day at a time. They're a happy, healthy family of 5. Their story is nowhere near over. There are many more adventures and milestones to come, and the IWK will be there every step of the way.